Yeah.
Are we even live?
Yeah, we're on there now.
All right, cool. What's up, Rhonda? Yeah, this streaming software is tripping out on me. Hey, shout out to everybody just joining us. Appreciate you. Week 10, halfway marker for NFL. Can you guys believe it? It's dark as shit here in Las Vegas at 4. I think the sun came down today at 4:45 p.m., Drew. I'm not even used to it being so dark like this, man. It's fall, bro. We about to head into winter. Christmas decorations abound. Season's halfway over. The San Francisco 49ers are coming off a bye week. And we'll be playing the Jaguars, man. But we're going to talk about power rankings this week and see how your teams are doing. How are your teams doing? I see fans from all over. I see some Chargers fans. Shout out to Del Media. I think you're a Chargers fan. Sin City Syndicate. Walk with Rhonda. Shout out to the Chiefs. How are the Chiefs doing in the power rankings? Drew, I think you're pissed off. As you were telling me, ESPN had your Eagles no longer number one, but I'm seeing conflicting stuff. I 2 days ago, they still, from what I see here, they got you guys as number one. So I wanted to start off the show before we get into our picks. I want to know what you guys think. If you guys want to throw in your chat, rank your top 5. Obviously don't go through all 10, but your power rankings, who's your top 5 right now halfway through the season? Drew, I got to, I know I should hate your team because we lost to you guys in the NFC Championship last year. But I still think the Eagles are sitting pretty as the number one power ranking team.
Here's the issue. ESPN came out today with a power ranking that had the Eagles as number 7. Have the Chiefs, the Cowboys, the Ravens, teams like that, and Buffalo, and the Bengals, teams like that ahead of the Eagles. I don't understand. Like, ESPN does not. I'm going to tell you something. ESPN does not like Philly. They don't like Philly.
You think they got something against your team?
Yeah, they do. They have something against Philly, but I'm going to rebuttal this whole thing right now.
All right, go for it, man.
The Eagles are the best team in the NFL, hands down, because they find ways to win. They're not blowing out people, but they're finding ways to win. They got 2 good teams that they have beaten already. At least, actually, they beat 3 good teams.
Right. Which says a lot. I got to be honest, not to throw you off, but Dolphins have a tremendous record, but they can't beat a solid team. It's all against lousy teams.
And here's the other thing. They're ranked in the top 3 in total offense. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. They're ranked 29th against the pass on defense. That's going to improve because Brandon Roby is coming back after the bye week. And the main issue with the secondary is they're banged up. But here's the main issue. The slot corner was the main issue. The safeties had to come down and help the slot corner position out. Now, Roby before he got hurt, the Eagles' secondary was a lot better. I think that secondary is going to play a lot better in the second half of the season. That's going to go up the rankings. But they're number 1 against the run. They give up 66 yards a game. And the 13th overall in the league, giving up 324 yards a game. It's not bad. Middle of the pack. Could be a lot better against the pass. But end of the day, wins and losses count. The Eagles are winning. They had the one letdown against the Jets. They got beat on them. They beat themselves. They didn't let the Jets beat them. Jets had a good defense. They lost on the road. But let's look at the teams that are ranked above them.
Okay.
The Kansas City Chiefs. How you have them ranked number 1 when, first of all, they only scored 9 points in a loss against the last ranked defense in the NFL, Denver Broncos, which, by the way, gave up 70 points one week to the Dolphins, and a hell of a bad team right now. They lost to the Lions. They lost opening week against the Lions at Arrowhead. So if you're going to look at it like this, no, you're not number 1 ranked team. Tell you the truth, you're to me, you're number 6. I have the
You saying
Lions.
that the Eagles? I'm sorry, the Chiefs are number 6?
Yeah, because I
Ouch.
have the Lions.
Rhonda, you
I
can
have the
call in.
Lions. I have the Lions ranked above them because they are 5-2,
Okay.
and they beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead.
Well, I hate to
So
say it, the Lions are a very exciting team, Drew.
so now here's my power rankings.
Let's hear it.
The Eagles are okay. Number 5 is the Lions. Number 4 is the Bengals. Number 3, I'm going with Jacksonville Jaguars. And I'm going to
What?
be honest.
You got the Jaguars.
Have won 6 in a row.
No, I know. I know what Lawrence has been up to.
And here's the thing. Number 2, I have the Baltimore Ravens. A little suspect a little bit because they lost to 2 teams they shouldn't have lost to. They lost a home game to the Indianapolis Colts, but they blowed out the Seattle Seahawks and the Detroit Lions week after week.
Listen, the Jaguars and the 49ers, for those of you guys who don't know, they played this Sunday in a true crossroads. Both of them are coming off big bye weeks, badly needed for the San Francisco 49ers. We have a new defensive end player that was traded over to us from the Washington Commanders. This is a do or die game for the 49ers, but also for the Jaguars, Drew, because, a 6-2, they've got arguably they've got one win more than the 49ers, but the 49ers lost a game because of an easy field goal that the rookie kicker missed. We should be at least 6-2. We've blown some close games. Whoever wins this game, Drew, says a lot about in the respective division, the AFC, NFC, of who's going forward.
Look at it like this, Dave. By the way, my number 1 ranked team is the Eagles. They beat a couple good. They beat 3 good teams, and they're being disrespected and everything. And they got the hardest schedule remaining. And ESPN has them losing the next 4 games. That's a lot of fucking hate right there. And watch the Eagles at least go 3-1 in that next 4-game stretch.
All right, I'll admit you guys have a very difficult stretch. One that includes the 49ers. That'll be a repeat of the NFC Championship. I'm very excited about that. But everything depends for my team on how they do against this scrappy Jaguars team. A team that, you know what? I wish I could pull this clip up. But just 2 years ago, Rhonda made a video. We were at NFL Draft. Speaking of Rhonda, she's in the chat. And she approached a whole crew of Jaguars fans just 2 years ago, Drew, as they were picking up Lawrence. And they admitted that they were the worst team in the NFL. They knew it. Look at them now, huh? Oh, look at them now. Johnny, if you're listening, if you call in, if you dare call in and make this bet, Johnny Savage, I got a wager for you. So grow a pair of balls and call on the show.
I'm going to look at it like this, Dave. This loss, if they lose the Jaguars, it won't hurt them because the division
sucks.
Tell you the truth, the division, the next best team is 4-4 or 4-5. They can afford to lose the game, but the Niners
can't. Oh, four losses in a row.
That will really be a bad thing for the Niners losing 4 straight. But I look at it like this. They'll be 5-4. They're not like is it time to panic yet if they lose 4 straight? Yeah, it is time to panic.
Yeah.
Because your defense, your pass defense has gotten worse. Your pass defense is 17th now in the NFL. The number 5 or number 6 against the run, but their pass defense is ranked number 17th. And I told you earlier, their secondary is their Achilles heel of that defense.
Mm-hmm.
And it showed. And they lost to the Vikings. They lost to a couple bad teams already. And I just look at it like this. The Niners, this is a must win because if you don't win this, it's panic mode and everything. The Jaguars, they lose, people expected them to lose a little bit, but they don't have to panic because the division is the AFC is wide open, but their division ain't really enough for them to panic for so far, unless
Yo,
one of these
I'm
teams
gonna be
they
panicked out of my goddamn mind, Drew. Let me give my, you know what? I didn't write it down, Drew, but I will say about let's just go down Dave's power rankings list here. I do have the Eagles sitting at number 1, followed by the red hot Ravens that I think just do everything well. The idea that the Jaguars come into my top 5, not a chance. I got the Chiefs at number 3, followed by the Detroit Lions, followed by the San Francisco 49ers. Then I've got the Jaguars. But hey, we can switch that around. If we'll see what happens this coming up Monday. We will definitely see what happens this following up Monday or following up Sunday. Excuse me.
This, Dave.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you something real quick. Hey, Brandon, talk to me about that Denver Broncos loss.
Well, Brandon might call in. Brandon's new to the show, and I appreciate that. But he's I believe, a diehard Chiefs fan, and obviously, you've got a lot of hard feelings probably as a Philadelphia Eagles against you. You guys are basically having a repeat this Monday night. Drew, what are we going to? First of all, we're doing the shoe shine, and Monday night is the Chiefs versus Eagles, a repeat of the Super Bowl.
Bye week.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. 2 weeks from today. 2 weeks from now.
My team's on a bye week.
Right.
This is next week.
We're talking about November. I got the schedule wrong. It's not next Monday.
But I'm going to be honest with you, Dave.
Yeah.
Dave, I'm going to be honest with you. Eagles going into Kansas City and beating them. You got to look. Here's the thing. The Chiefs' passing offense is not as good as it was last year. The Chiefs have probably one of the worst wide receiving groups in the NFL.
But they still managed to have put together these wins, which says a lot about it. Basically, just tight end Kelsey.
The defense is very good, but tell you the truth, when they need a play from the wide receivers, they are not. Patrick Mahomes is throwing more interceptions this year around this time than he usually does. Like, this really could be devastating if they don't get this wide receiver position corrected. The Eagles are ranked 29th against the pass and everything, but here's the thing, Brian Roby's coming back. You got to be able to hold that defensive line and everything. So they blitz a lot. They blitz more, this defensive line. And I told people like this. When you do a defense the way you call it, that the Eagles defensive coordinator calls, you have to blitz a lot more. And that's when they blitz a lot more, a lot more happens and everything. And like, people are gonna look at the power rankings. When I look at my power rankings and everything, when you lose, when you don't produce, I can understand the Chiefs losing to a close game to the Denver Broncos and scoring. But when you fail to score a touchdown in that game, when you only score 3 field goals in that game, and you lose to the worst defense in the NFL that gave up 70?
Not a fluke. Not an early season,
You see what's the problem. The passing game is not as good as it was. And their passing game was defend Travis Kelsey, to make them wide receivers beat you. And the 2 teams that showed that won those games. And I think if you make the wide receivers beat you, you might beat the Chiefs. And I think right now the best team in the AFC is Baltimore or the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I think right now Cincinnati's coming up there. And I think Cincinnati
Bengals are red hot. And every team that's getting red hot has one thing in common, and that's that they beat the 49ers recently. And the Bengals are coming on. Burrows is coming on fantastic on a 4-game win streak now, having a rough start. He was kind of hurt at the beginning of the season. The Browns, still a very strong defensive team, could potentially do big things in that AFC. You're right, Drew. There's a lot of good teams. Shout out to the Vikings, by the way. My friend Speech, who Drew, their replacement quarterback pulled off a win, even though he was sacked and fumbled the ball. I don't know how many times. He still picks up a win. Could they do anything? The Vikings?
Tell you the truth, I look at it like this. They could make some noise a little bit, but tell you the truth, I don't think Josh Dobbs is going to be able to carry them for the rest of the season. That's the one thing I don't think is going to happen. I think that if you need Justin Jefferson, and he's coming back soon, but you need Justin Jefferson and in order to have a chance and everything. But I don't know. The Vikings is in an uphill battle. They won like the last 4 out of last 5. So it could happen, but I doubt it.
Right. Sergio Fernando says, you think Shanny goes after his man crush Kirk Cousins next season? He's a free agent. Who wants to pick up somebody with that Achilles tendon injury?
But you know what? It gives you the leverage because of him coming off an injury and everything. If a team needs a quarterback, they can sign him for like 1 or 2 years. If they do that, or the Vikings just might keep him and just, hey, we're going to offer you this contract and everything. But I really think, are the Vikings really ready to do a complete rebuild and everything? Because if you're ready to do a complete rebuild, we're actually asking to get rid of Justin Jefferson if you expect them to do a complete rebuild.
I'm surprised they still have a potential to be, to make the playoffs. That the Vikings have the potential. I don't think they will. Sorry, speech. I don't think they will, but the potential is there.
It's to the NFC right now. It's like, your wild cards are likely going to be Dallas. What is it? The Dallas, Seattle. What's that third wild card team? Could be an NFC South team, and everything. But I just don't see really the Vikings could grab a spot, maybe over an NFC South team,
right?
And everything. So we have to see, because the NFC South division is just nobody wants to win that division right now and everything. So, like, the best team, what is it? The best team's like 5-4.
Drew, our boy Ryan that watches the Shoe Shine says, did anyone see that Bucks-Texans game? The fourth quarter was something else. I didn't see it. I only read about how well C.J. Stroud had this fantastic, incredible game. People are calling him the NFL Rookie of the Year.
Here's the thing. He threw for 176 yards and had 5 touchdowns.
That's insanity. That's insane.
And everything. You don't hear that often. A guy for under 200 yards and had 5 touchdowns, first of all.
Yeah, I think I got to go watch that. Thank you, Ryan, for bringing that up. I actually got to go watch that. I did watch that was a hot game you guys played against the Dallas Cowboys. A shout out to Derek Ware, former Dallas Cowboys player, friend of the show. That was a very close game, Drew, but somehow you guys managed to continue to put away these close games. That's something that, like, in boxing, in the world of boxing, on Monday nights, I mean, that's something that is so desirable in a fighter, in a boxer, that can finish a hurt opponent. And the Dallas Cowboys were in that game, Drew, but, like, I got to give you guys a little bit of praise. You guys figure out how to put the teams away.
It's like this. When you get the ball back, there are 2 things that you cannot afford to do with that little bit of time you have left. 1, take a sack. 2, have a penalty. Not only he took a sack, but the next play, he took a 5-yard delayed game penalty. Now, when you have that little bit of time left, you give them all, you gotta get in the end zone, because you're behind you gotta score a touchdown to win the game. 3 don't get you, you're gonna lose the game even if you have 3, it's gonna field goal. So they're going to line up near the end zone and play that prevent coverage defense and everything. And it's like, there's a lot of mistakes the Cowboys made. But when it comes to the end of the day, the Eagles were built for situations like this. They were a better coached team than the Cowboys and everything. And that's what separates these 2 teams. One is better. When you have Mike McCarthy has been in the league coaching for 17 years and Dak Prescott as a quarterback for 8 years, and you compare that to the Eagles that have a younger coaching staff, a coaches 40 years old and is a third-year head coach and a lot younger coaching staff, and they're coaching better than you, and they made this like plays because of their coaching better than you, that's an issue. Dak had a good game, but there was key moments that if he knew where to go, they would have probably won the game, or the play would have had it in an overtime and everything. And I think that's why people are trying to praise Dak Prescott, but some of the stuff that he did actually cost him the game too.
Yeah, actually, he had some fantastic throws in that game, but you're absolutely right about that. Sergio Fernandez says, I don't understand how the Niners can't get their own C.J. Stroud. We end up with 7th rounders, and how's that for the best? Well, but, I mean, we have to take into account how well Purdy did in his first season coming in, almost undefeated, right? And only now recently is he starting to throw picks. Only now. I mean, yeah, C.J. Stroud is playing phenomenal, but so did Purdy coming into his first season the way he did. I think he was almost undefeated. He had the best streak. Now,
Dave, I'm going to give you reality. I'm going to have to give you Niners fans a reality check.
What are you going to say? He's not our system quarterback? He's a system quarterback and not a franchise?
The thing about it is when you guys had McCaffrey hurt and you still got Deebo Samuel hurt and everything.
Right. And I think he's coming back. I'm very happy about that.
When his weapons are gone, a lot of pressure gets on him. He cannot be the one that wins you the games. He's a game manager.
You hear that?
That's all.
You hear that, Rhonda? I bet Drew's going to say Mahomes is that guy, though.
Mahomes, he's proven it. But
I know it, bro. We've been looking for. Listen. There's how many trophies in Santa Clara, California? There's 6 Lombardi trophies there with our names, San Francisco 49ers, and we have been looking for that franchise star. We've been looking for the next Joe Montana, the next Steve Young. We continue to find him. And Jimmy G, according to Jimenez videos, no more Jimmy G. Good riddance. Are they not playing him this weekend?
Yeah, he's not starting no more. I think they look at it and everything. But Dave, look at it like this.
You spent all that money on Jimmy G, and you're not going to use him for the rest of the season?
The Niners' big mistake that may turn out to haunt them was drafting Trey Lance at number 3. And you only got a 3rd-round pick back for him.
I'm laughing at what Jimenez said. Jimmy G has the most interceptions in the NFL, even with missing 1 game. Hey, I mean, you guys picked them up from us. You know, you did us a favor.
It's a bad system. It was a bad system with Josh McDaniels. McDaniels should never be a head coach.
And you know, the irony is that shit is so messed up here in Las Vegas with the Formula One race coming up. You guys know that Formula One racing is coming to the city of Las Vegas in less than 2 weeks. There's so much, like, everybody's so focused about that the Raiders coach being fired barely cracked, like, the conversations, you know, like, nobody's talking about that. Nobody's talking about Jimmy G and our quarterback woes here for Las Vegas Raiders fans. But I don't know, man. Are you ready to get into our picks for the week?
Yeah, might as well. Like, if you look at it like this, I might do a couple parlays this weekend and everything just to see how I do and everything. But let's do the picks right now.
Whoa. I got to read this comment. Ryan says there's a rumor it might rain on F1 day and ruin the race. Of all days to rain. That'd be some shit. Speaking of Ryan, who follows our Shoe Shine show, I was reading that the strip is actually closing at 5 p.m. on Thursday night. True, Thursday night of next week is the Shakur Stevenson fight for the 130-pound title against De Los Santos, and Navarrete is on that too, defending his title against Constantin. Now, I was going to go with our friends, and we decided to go to the David Benavidez fight. But if the strip closes at 5 o'clock, Drew, that means I would literally have to walk from, like, I don't know, half a mile, maybe the Mandalay Bay, wherever. If you guys know where the T-Mobile Arena is, probably would have to walk about a full mile from, like, say, Mandalay Bay or some shit. I'm freaking happy. I will sit home and watch that Shakur fight at home. All right, let's get into our picks, Drew. Let's do this, man. Thursday night in two of the worst teams. Like who is going to watch this on Thursday Night Football? Who's going to be watching this on Amazon? Amazon Prime, Drew? Carolina Panthers with only one win against the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears are easily the favorite with a negative 3.5 spread. And like I said last week, I was going to keep a tally. I actually did keep scores, so we're going to keep these handy, and later we'll reveal who has been more accurate at the halfway marker. This one is too easy, guys. Does anybody in this chat think Carolina Panthers can pick up another win? For real?
I'm going Chicago. I can't trust them. Like, the Panthers are just bad. But just worse right now, actually. So I'm picking. They got that win, so I'm picking Chicago.
Yeah, they're going to easily pass that spread. I am in agreement with you, Drew, on that one. Thursday Night Football. I will not spend my time watching that. Will anybody here? Yeah, Sin City Syndicate says Benavidez versus Andre ticket prices dropping to $80. And that's a fucking deal, guys. I hate to swear, but that's a freaking deal. I know it's Thanksgiving weekend. It's kind of hard to travel. If you got family here, like my cousins in the room, if you want to come out to Las Vegas, make a weekend out of it. Shit, the room rates are going to be dirt cheap too. That's the other great thing. On top of that, Las Vegas, hey, it's Black Friday weekend. Las Vegas is a shopping destination. Like, I mean, the deals, you get like the outlets, the places where you can get, like, come out here and shop. Go to the David Benavidez fight. You know, go check out the new decorations at the Bellagio. Make a weekend out of it. It'd be awesome, right? Right, Sergio? Right, Rhonda? Okay, let's do it. We just did Thursday, so now we're going to move on to Indiana Colts versus New England Patriots. Two other teams I can give a shit about. And that's an international game, Drew. That's actually in Germany.
Wow. Oh, man. I hate these international games.
Yeah. Indianapolis Colts are favored, -1.5 against the spread. And the Patriots are awful, man. They're talking about, you know, should they let go of this coach of theirs that's been, you know, brought how many trophies? Should they let him go halfway season? Should they?
It might be time. I think it might be time to let, you know, Belichick go. Like, the way he picks the players are not. It's not back in the day that you got guys out of food markets.
Right. Now, I think they want to definitely let go of what the general manager or whatnot, and ask Belichick if it's time for him to hang him up or at least, you know, part ways respectfully. And I definitely have. I got the Patriots losing this one and the Colts covering the spread. What do you think?
I'll go with the Colts. I'm going to take a shot with the Colts. The Colts have has let people down in the last couple weeks.
All right, Ryan says he got the Colts too. Guys, by the way, the phone line is open. I'm still waiting for my friend Johnny Savage, the only Mexican guy I know that is a Jaguars fan in the entire world, for that matter.
And he's a sex addict.
And you got probably like 20 minutes left to make this wager with me. You said you would call, and now you're being chicken shit to make that wager. I heard, Drew, that the Jaguars' attendance, that their fan base is so putrid, despite being playing their best, that they're actually a conversation about making them the first NFL London team. I don't know if you heard about that.
I don't think that you should have an overseas team. It's just a bad thing for the NFL. Now, I understand if you have a Canadian team, but not an overseas team.
Yeah, and so that's just a rumor I heard. The owner, I believe, owns a sports franchise. The owner of the Jaguars also owns a European team. So that is openly being discussed, if that, or potentially playing some of their games in London, like more than, you know, a handful potentially coming up. So that remains to be seen. All right, Cleveland Browns versus the Baltimore Ravens. That's a really good game.
Yeah,
that's really good. The Ravens are red hot offensively, and the Cleveland Browns are still probably top 3 defensive team in the nation.
They're the number 1 ranked defense. I think they're 1 or 2. They're 1 or 2. But it's going to be a defensive battle probably. I don't know. This is a hard game to pick, but Baltimore's the home team. Like, I was thinking about doing a parlay with Baltimore winning and doing a parlay with Cleveland winning.
Yeah, that's how close it could be. Now they have it at they got the Ravens -6 favorite, so less than a touchdown, a couple of field goals. I'm actually going to go with the Ravens beating them. I think by at least a touchdown or maybe a touchdown and a field goal.
I'm looking at this right now. I'm actually going to be crazy for doing this.
Oh shit! I got that call. I got a call. I'm not sure if it's who I think it is. By the way, shout out to Go ahead.
I'm picking the Browns.
You're picking the Browns?
I'm picking the Browns.
I'm shocked. Hey, they did beat my Niners. So Drew's got the Browns. I got the Ravens. So we're gonna pick up this phone call on the shoe shine as we get into these picks for the week. And I wanted to send a shout out to my boy Donnie. Make sure you guys go check out my boy Donnie's channel. He used to put on a hell of a funny show on Friday nights and then some. Real funny guy. Make sure you go check him out. Sergio Fernandez says, Browns? Oh, man. Let's pick up this call.
They're going to pressure Lamar. I don't think Lamar's going to be able to have success moving around.
Hey, 913, you're on with the Tailgate Talk with Dave and Drew.
Hey, what's up, man? This is Brandon. I'm actually one of Rhonda's friends. I couldn't. Drew said some stuff about the Eagles and the power rankings, and I just couldn't let it. I couldn't let it fly, man. And then you brought up the Broncos game.
All right, we'll give you an opportunity to make your rebuttal case. Let's do that, Drew. You okay with that? He's gonna do his rebuttal.
Go ahead, man. Try not to make me fall asleep.
Come on.
No, I don't.
But to a team that gave up 70 to those Dolphins, and tell you the truth, I'm gonna be honest with you. The Lions are ranked above you because they went in the Arrowhead and beat you. It doesn't matter if you didn't have Travis Kelce or not. They still came in there on a nice Chiefs defense and outscored you. They were able to move the ball on.
They scored 14 points.
And what was the final score at the end of the game?
The offense scored 14 points.
What was the final score of that game?
Okay, as far as the Dolphins, it was 21-20. But as far as the Dolphins game, everything you said about your team shutting down the Dolphins, we did the same thing.
Yeah, but you almost blew a 21-point lead. You almost blew a 21-point lead, bro. He didn't blow
a lead. We shut down the Dolphins as well. Tyreek had 62 yards.
Yeah, but you almost blew a 21-point lead against the Dolphins.
Yeah, but you lost to the Jets. I can go back and forth with you about stuff. I just wanted to talk about our game that's coming up. Chiefs and Eagles.
Let's do that. Okay, guys. You guys have this is a repeat of the Super Bowl in just 2 weeks. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. What day is this game? November? Drew.
In the league.
What day is this game? You guys are a bye week, right?
Oh my God!
It's Monday night on the shoe shine. Let's have Brandon call back that Monday. Why don't you guys make a wager on this? Anything that'd be kind of fun.
I would love to.
All right, there you have it, Drew. Is it money? Is it a gimmick? What are you guys gonna wager on?
You give me if the Chiefs don't beat the Eagles, you cash at me $25.
Okay.
Okay, he got Cash App, $25 Cash App both ways.
He got Cash App because the last dude doesn't know how to use Cash App, and he should fire his manager if he doesn't know how to use Cash App.
25 is a fair bet. I got a Cash App. I use it often, so it's all good.
Thank you. At least you have a Cash App. Thank God for that. The last dude did it, and I had the time to go fire his manager because he doesn't know how to use Cash App, PayPal. At least he's here with the fucking times. Thank God for that.
He got a point. We had a Vikings fan make a $50 bet, not be able to pay because he didn't have Cash App.
He wanted me to send him a check.
Yeah, that won't be me, man. I'm gonna definitely pay it. But I just feel like, the Eagles are a good team, but there's some flaws over there on the defense, and that's I feel like it might be the difference in the game.
But here's the other thing. When a team hasn't played their best ball yet and they're 8-1, and imagine when those games mean something, that's when the teams come alive. And Brandon Roby's coming back when that Chiefs game happens. And the main issue with that secondary was the slot corner. And Nzeki had to come down to help the slot corners because they had to keep substituting with Riggs, Cindy Brown, and all that. It's not going to be no substitution. That defense, when Brady Roby was last there, that was the team that shut the Dolphins down. That's the team that held them to 244 yards passing. Actually,
you just described the Chiefs. Except y'all got one game better than us. We're 7-2 and haven't played our best game yet. So that's why I think this will be a really good game. But y'all coming to Arrowhead is Andy Reid off of a bye is the worst person that you want to see, and everyone knows that. There is no debating that. That is a 1,000% fact. So we'll see. And he's never lost to the Eagles since he's left the Eagles. So we'll see.
Hey, here's the thing.
I appreciate everybody who's in here. Drop your pick for the Chiefs versus the Eagles in just 2 weeks on a Monday Night Football.
All right, I'm going to call back, man. How often y'all do this?
Every Wednesday.
All right,
every Wednesday.
Cool.
So, but if you want to call in our Monday show, it's the same channel. Just hit up Rhonda. She'll let you know because we do a Monday boxing show, and we'll probably come on right after that Monday Night Football game.
All right, man. That
sound
works,
good, Brandon?
Man. I'm gonna be looking for y'all.
All right, man. I appreciate you calling, man.
Hit that sub button, by the way.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Brandon.
Hit that sub button. I like.
That's Brandon right there.
All right, cool.
Thank you, Brandon. That's Rhonda's homie, the Brandon, who's a diehard Chiefs fan, as is Rhonda. And y'all got a $25 bet now. I like it. Put some money on. Guys, I'm really sorry. I was telling Drew, there's only a handful of us left here for these picks. But Drew, remember right before we started the show, I said my streaming software just crashed. And I don't have a clue why. Other than this Macintosh that I use to stream the show is old as shit. So hopefully we won't be encountering this too much. Appreciate everyone coming in here. Bruce Gass, Boxing Jazz and more. Thank you for coming in and hanging out with us. We're going to resume our picks for the week. We were here, Cleveland Browns, Baltimore Ravens. I think Drew picked the Browns. I picked the Ravens. And the next game is that C.J. Stroud, man. Is C.J. Stroud really the big star he's going to be the way he's been playing? Houston Texans versus the Bengals, though. The Bengals are Burrows is so battle-tested, man. I think Houston Texans, I'm straight up, they are not the favorite. They're plus 6.5 underdog. I know how well the kid played, but then again, Tua threw up 70 points, right? Tua threw up 70 points. Cincinnati Bengals all day on this one.
I look at it like this, Dave. They're getting healthy on defense now. The Texans, they're getting the best cornerback and everything, but I just don't see them beating this red-hot Bengals team right now. And I just don't really see it. But, I wouldn't be surprised if they can get a win over the Bengals right now, but I just don't think they're beating the Bengals right now. The Texans are they're actually going in the right direction. And I think in a year or two, they are going to be one of the best teams in the AFC. But right now, I think the Bengals are going to win this game. The Texans are still young. It's just that type of game for them. But to tell you the truth, they're not out of the playoff hunt.
That's wild. That's wild.
Nice.
All right, let's move on to the next game. Of course, I'll keeping my eye on the Texans, C.J. Stroud's development, and the Bengals, man, who upset my 49ers the other day. Ryan says he's got the Bengals too. Let's move on to the next game, which is actually the one that I'm going to be glued to the television the most, and that's the 49ers versus the Jaguars. That's a really, really tough game. 49ers going on the road. Trevor Lawrence is red hot. Will he get over his mental hump? I'm talking about Purdy, who's been making tons of mistakes all of a sudden, throwing interceptions where he hasn't been. But now he's going to be having not only his receivers like Ayuk, tight end Kittle, but it looks like Deebo Samuels is coming back, Drew. And we got a brand new defensive end player to put some pressure on Trevor Lawrence. But will it be enough? Because we're on a 3-game losing streak and they're on a 5-game winning streak against good teams.
And I look at it like this. They addressed the pass rush issue. They could have used another pass rush and everything. He has a history of not staying healthy, so let's hope he can stay healthy and everything. But I'm gonna be honest. Picking the Jaguars to win.
I knew you was gonna hit on my team.
I'm picking the Jaguars. I look at it like this: the weakness of that Niners defense is their secondary, and the Jaguars have some good ass wide receivers. Christian Kirk, Calvin Ridley. They got Kevin Ingram at the tight end. If they could play mistake-free football, the Jacksonville Jaguars wins this game.
Wow. Okay, let's see what the odds are on this game here. 49ers, somehow, with a 3-game losing streak, still are the favorite. A -3 spread favorite. And some of these, like earlier today, I was looking at the power rankings. Some people have the Jaguars ahead of the 49ers, and some people have got the 49ers ahead. So this is really probably one of the best games. We mentioned the Browns being one of the best games. This is my go-to game this weekend. It really is a crossroads for the rest of the season and an indicator of how these teams will play should both of them make it to the playoffs. So 49ers for me and Jaguars for Drew. All right, moving on here. We got Green Bay Packers versus Pittsburgh Steelers, Drew. Yeah. Pittsburgh Steelers are the -3 favorite on the spread. And Green Bay Packers, what can we say, man? The Raiders gave up their quarterback, sent them over there, right? They sent Derek Carr over there. Not been what they quite expected. I got Steelers winning this game.
I don't know. The Steelers, man, they're just a team. It's a mystery with them. They're a huge mystery. What are they? 4-3? 4-3. I really like.
Steelers are 5-3. That's the same record of the 49ers. Yeah, they're 5-3.
5-3. That's probably the best division in football, the NFC North, because all of them have winning records and everything. But they're a big mystery because it's just like it's. I don't know. I would.
Oh, my bad.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Jimenez. I'm tripping. Yeah, Jimenez is right. I got it all wrong. But nonetheless, you said, Drew, that AFC North is the hottest division, and they absolutely are. In fact, they've got 3 teams tied at number 2 at 5-3, with the Ravens 7-2. They really are the best division. Toughest division.
I'm gonna pick the Steelers, but here's the thing: the Steelers are a team that you can't trust.
All right, we both got the Steelers for that one. All right, coming up here, we got, let's see, New Orleans Saints. I was just talking about Carr. I was mistaken. Minnesota Vikings backup quarterback, played well enough to win a game, but not only was sacked, but I think he dropped the ball a few times. Is he going to do better in the second game, this backup quarterback for Minnesota?
Oh, man, who are they playing? The Saints?
They're playing the Saints. And I think the Saints have the potential to be kind of a sleeper team for the rest of the season.
I'm going to pick the Saints because, to tell you the truth, the best quarterback in that division is Derek Carr. And they're a better team with Derek Carr on the field. So I'm picking the Saints to win that game.
Yeah, and surprisingly, I can't believe the Vikings have the record they do despite all their woes that they've had. The Vikings are...
They started 0-3.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, but I do think, and I made that mistake, looking at the Saints' schedule, I think they have the potential to do something for the rest of the season. So we both agree the Saints?
Yeah, I actually have the Saints winning the NFC South now.
Damn.
It's a bad division, but I still have them winning the NFC South.
Wow, let's take a look at that. Should I look at that? That's crazy. No, actually, a lot of people feel that way, that they're going to come on the second half of the season. So, all right, Atlanta Falcons versus the absolute garbage Arizona Cardinals. How are they only a -1.5 favorite? Falcons versus Cardinals.
I'm picking the Falcons. The Cardinals are just flat out awful and everything. I said before the season started that Jonathan Gannon is probably going to be a 1-year coach and get fired, one and done coach. But they're 1-6 or 1-7 now. But I really think they're not winning this game.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah. So I'm picking the Falcons. I don't even think Arizona's favored in any game anymore this year, and I think they might only win one game.
All right.
So,
Ryan says Falcons easy. Okay, let's move on. Easy money
Cowboys.
right there. Yeah, as Sin City Syndicate likes to put in the chat here, I get nothing but free money. That is easy money there. Although if you just go for the straight money line, shoot, you got to put up on that game $120. Negative 120. You got to put up $120.
That's right, guys. We do parlays.
Yeah. Okay, Giants, kind of another garbage team. They're gonna. Oh wow. The Giants are a underdog by 16.5 points against the Dallas Cowboys. Prescott played fairly well, Drew. Yeah, he made mistakes and they cost him when it mattered against potentially, for me, the number one team, power ranking team. So no secret here that the Vegas oddmakers have them a underdog by 16.5 points. That's a lot of points to cover, Drew. They getting smoked like that?
They're on the third quarterback now, so yeah, they're getting smoked.
Man.
Getting smoked, man. It's gonna be bad, man. They're getting smoked. And
listen, Cowboys are 5-3. That's just gonna put them at 6-3. They still have a chance in their division, don't they?
Well, here's the thing.
They're in your division, right?
Yeah, here's the thing. They do technically, but here's the thing. If the Eagles were to sweep the Giants, and let's say the Eagles beat Dallas twice, or let's say they sweep the division, the Eagles, it's over. The division race is over. The Eagles win the division going away, because there's no way that they're going to beat that they can catch up unless. But I look at it like this: if the Eagles wind up only losing 3 games this year, which I have them only losing 3 games this year, then Dallas won't win that division anyway, because I think they're going to lose another maybe 2 or 3 games and everything. I just think Dallas has not beaten a good team yet. So
they can't. They've come up short against every top team, whether it was getting blown out by the 49ers or coming up just shy against the Philadelphia Eagles. When they play teams of their own caliber or better, they come up short. But here, I think they're going to find themselves easily 6-3, keeping themselves alive in the wild card race, right?
Yeah, but here's the thing: we said that about the Cardinals, and the Cardinals smoked them.
Yeah, they did.
So,
they did. The only one game. Listen, Kansas City Chiefs, like you said, Kansas City Chiefs had one of those fluke losses too. I said it's a fluke loss.
But I look at it like this: the Cowboys should ultimately win this game. They couldn't move the ball against. They had -10 passing yards against the Jets defense, the Giants with their third string quarterback.
Oh, negative.
And everything. The Giants have a lot of issues right now. They just traded Leonard Williams at the trade deadline for a second-round pick, so a complete rebuild is probably coming. And they're probably going to be in the market for a quarterback in this draft after giving Daniel Jones a brand new contract this past season.
Right.
Nice job, New York. That's another team we don't have to worry about for the next 5 years.
All right, guys, this is the last game at 1:25 p.m. It's the Commanders versus the Seattle Seahawks, Drew. Thank God the Seahawks. For me, I'm happy as shit the Seahawks lost. They are now tied with the San Francisco 49ers. And the Washington Commanders gave up that defensive end player that's coming over to the 49ers, Drew. They are the underdogs. Seahawks are favored -6, but I think the Commanders can pull this one off. I think they get upset a better team because the Seahawks aren't playing in the right frame of mind right now, just like the 49ers. I think this is an opportunity, and it pays handily here because a straight money line is plus 220. This is an underdog pick that I'm going for. I'm going for the Commanders against the Seahawks. I need the Seahawks to fall back too, especially if the 49ers lose this coming Sunday.
It's a shame, but it's not going to happen. The Seattle Seahawks be too much for the Commanders that are also in potential rebuild mode. We have to worry about you guys for another 5 years too.
All right. Well, we split here. I think the Commanders could pull off this upset. Does anybody else think so? Oh, if Ryan says he thinks the Commanders could pull it off, I definitely need that, especially as a hedge against insurance in case the 49ers do lose against the Jaguars. All right. 5 o'clock Sunday, the main game of Sunday. New York Jets, the god-awful New York Jets. Not as bad as the Giants, Drew. But
they're not even that bad, the Jets. They just got a bad offense and everything. The Jets' defense is legit. And they're
going to need it.
4-5. So.
They're going to need it to – yeah, they're definitely not as bad as the Giants here. And the Raiders are also shockingly – let's see here. The Raiders are do we still got some Las Vegas Raiders fans in here?
4-5. They're 4-5.
They're 4-5. This is a really important game because Raiders could get back to playing 500 ball here, but will they let this backup quarterback play, or will they eventually put Jimmy G in there?
Nah, the rookie's going to start. They're starting with the rookie. And I think the Raiders will win this game. And I think this is probably going to be one of the surprises of the NFL if this Antonio Pierce gets them to the playoffs.
I think it will be a big surprise. And I think I mentioned it like 2 weeks ago that I don't know. I just have a gut feeling that they could turn their season around somehow to at least potentially make a wild card berth. I got the Raiders on this one too. That brings us to this Monday Night Football where, Drew, I was reading that Buffalo Bills are statistically out of a playoff opportunity. How's that possible?
Right now they are.
Right now they are.
Don't worry, Buffalo. You're gonna get your ass kicked.
What the fuck happened to Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, man? They're playing Denver Broncos. They are the favorite.
They are going to win that game now. They are going to win against the Broncos. But here's the thing. The Bills' defense has fallen off. They'll rank 17th in total defense. They were ranked in the top 5 for the past 3 seasons. Now they're ranked 17th overall. And the offense hasn't been really consistent and everything. But I'm picking the Bills. The Bills are going to beat this Broncos team. At least they're going to do something other than the Chiefs going to do, but and everything. But when they come to Philly, the Buffalo Bills will welcome them with open arms with an ass kicking.
It wouldn't be a tailgate talk without the appearance of Paul Martinez, Mr. Upset himself. And he's got a bold prediction. Well, he says the Raiders are going to win, but his bold prediction is that the Broncos are going to win Monday Night Football next Monday night. Another bold prediction for Paul. Oh, man, this has been a good show. Apologize, guys. At some point midway through the stream, my streaming software just crashed, and it actually allowed me to come back and salvage this show, this episode, because I didn't want to start a whole new stream. And I appreciate everybody that was riding with us and stayed faithful to the Tailgate Talk Week 10, halfway through the season. If you're so inclined, drop Drew and I a comment on how we can make this Tailgate Talk even better as we move on to the second half of the season. We still got all the playoffs. We still got, man, we got the Super Bowl right here in my backyard this year, Drew. There's still plenty of more episodes to go. So, it wasn't you, Ryan. My streaming software straight crashed, and when I rebooted it let me come back onto the same show, which is awesome. That was awesome. But this has been Tailgate Talk, Drew. I'm going to let you have your final words on week 9. You guys had a close game against Dallas. How you see the second half of the season? You still pissed off at ESPN?
Yeah, I am. But, the bias and everything, it's all right. It's all right. You hate our Philly people on ESPN. You hate Philly. And tell you the truth, Nick Wright from Fox, you suck. You don't know shit about sports and everything. You can go fuck yourself, Nick Wright. But I'm looking at it like this. It's another week that we reign supreme over the NFL. And here's the thing, Dave. They have the best record in the hold the best record in the NFL for 27 straight weeks.
Next week we're going to get into next week we'll talk about the strength of the schedules, because let's be real, some teams have got an easy home stretch on their way to the end of the season, and some teams have some brutal schedules, including the 49ers, including your team, the Eagles. As good as the Eagles' season has been and your record is, you guys have some really tough competition up ahead, including the rematch of last year's Super Bowl, man. You guys got a tough schedule. I'll admit that.
But here's the thing, Dave. Here's the thing. If they go through this schedule and wind up finishing 14-3, or even 13-4, people can't handle them no more and everything. They're just really that damn good going through that horrible stretch. And I'm telling you the truth, if they wind up doing that and going to the Super Bowl again and winning it, they'd be one of the best teams of all time.
Could be the repeat of the Eagles and Chiefs. And by the way, if you guys missed it, Drew made a bet with Brandon, who joined us today, and we'll be keeping close tabs on that game in just 2 weeks. I appreciate everybody for joining us on Tailgate Talk NFL Week 10. Appreciate all the support. Leave us a comment on how we can make the show better. We'll see you guys next Monday night on the Shoe Shine, Monday night at 7:30 p.m. and next Wednesday for Tailgate Talk Week 11. Peace out, everybody.